This interview on the Don Lemon Show earlier today has to be one of the most evil, maniacal, sick things I've ever witnessed online when it comes to this Nolan Wells situation. This man on your screen used his proximity to Nolan Wells' family, claiming he gave Nolan Wells his first haircut to get on Don Lemon Show. Then when he got on Don Lemon Show, he completely flipped the script, and it became obviously clear he was an agent of chaos and he was sent there to run propaganda for white folks in Ocean Springs.
See, here's a lot of things that the people in the back of the room don't know. Yes, us locals, we are privy to a lot of things because we know these people. I gave Nolan his first haircut. I know his parents. Been knowing them for years. Been knowing his mom since she was like in high school. I'm real good friends with her family.
That would sound like the perfect person to speak to. Somebody who has a relationship with the family. He has known Nolan since Nolan was a child. He's from the community. He could speak on what's going on. He gets on Don Lemon, and the first thing he confesses is he has lunch at least twice a week with one of the white boys that Nolan was on the island with.
Before I get there, do you know the other kids involved? Do you know some of the friends?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead. How do you know them?
Well, with the recent ones that was on like TMZ, I spoke with him Friday night. I know one of the white guys and one of the pitchers, where it's quite a few of them, not one of the three on the boat. They were all in a collective group there. And me and his father, we're very good friends. We get up and have lunch about 2 or 3 times a week currently.
When I heard this, everything in me tried not to shut down the conversation. I truly wanted to give this dude the benefit of the doubt, even though having lunch twice a week with the father of one of the kids who are involved in this situation tells me that objectivity probably wouldn't be your best strong suit in this situation. But I thought, you know what? He has friends on both sides. He's friends with Nolan Wells' family. He's friends with this dude whose son may be involved there. Maybe he can give some type of objective truth. But what proceeded to follow is nothing short of a scene out of Get Out. This dude is in a sunken place.
Listen, man, I want to say this to you. I know it's probably not following your questionnaires, but that is a problem that we're having here. There's a lot of blacks right along with a lot of whites that are having this problem. When Ben Crump and Al Sharpton came to our state, I think one thing they did wrong was you can't come down here and start saying that our state is prejudiced. This is prejudiced place. This is the state that lynched and killed Emmett Till. Well, that was 71 years ago, and Emmett Till was killed for looking and whistling at a white woman. These days, it's so many blacks having babies with white people. White men are marrying black women down here. We have so many sandy brown haired mixed babies running around down here.
This was my realization. Yeah, this is going to be one of those interviews. There's just so much wrong with that, like 5 seconds taboo we just heard. First off, centering this conversation, choosing to center this conversation around the feelings of white folks in Ocean Springs when it's a discussion about a black kid losing his life in mysterious fashion after going to an island with his white friends who all came back safely, but he didn't, is absurd and is really poetic when it comes to Mississippi. It's really poetic when it comes to how people view Mississippi. They're just reinforcing every negative stereotype there is. I'm sure not everybody in Mississippi is racist, but that's the thing, though. That's common sense. That don't need to be said. Anybody who's getting mad at people looking at Mississippi as this racist place is a racist themselves. It's simple as that, bruh. It don't need to be said. Not everybody in Mississippi is racist. Not everybody in Ocean Springs is racist, but there is racism. Now, this dude who came on to talk about Nolan Wells will spend the next hour trying to convince Don Lemon that racism no longer exists because white folks are sleeping with black folks in Ocean Springs. Sir, there were sandy hair mixed kids on the plantation. You know that, right?
We have so many sandy brown haired mixed babies running around down here. We are a gumbo down here. And another thing, Don, is we are a military community. Mm-hmm. That's how we got here. My dad is originally from Louisiana and my mom's New Orleans. And my dad was military. That's how I got here, through Keishler. And so we have Navy bases here and Air Force bases here. That's what we are. And it's a gumbo. Everybody, white people try their best to not ruffle the feathers of black people, and black people try their best not to ruffle the feathers of white people for the majority of it. So when Ben Crump come to this town and start saying things like that, he's alienating these people and he's getting pushback now. That's why he's getting all this pushback. And it's going to me, it's hurting the whole entire investigation, which is why he's probably not getting a lot of help from people. To me, that's the deal. You cannot come in here and tell us how racist we are. Well, these people showing you how they hate you doing that type of stuff in our community, and he's going to get this type of pushback that he's getting.
I don't care what y'all say. Y'all can't tell me this dude ain't a paid shill. You can't tell me this dude was not compensated properly and heavily for coming up here, because if he did this for free, this even worse. Don Lemon was completely taken aback. Don thought he was interviewing somebody who cared and loved Nolan. He thought he was interviewing somebody who, quote unquote, gave Nolan his first haircut, somebody who was friends of the family. Clearly, after this interview, you're not friends with the family anymore, so that's out the window. I did not know black men down south was still this submissive and subservient. Now, I knew there was a few tap dancers. I knew, like, for the most part, right? You know, some sellouts, some people who don't recognize their black exist. I didn't know it was this bad. This is levels that I've rarely seen. Now, I haven't been down south in a minute. I went to Houston like briefly for like a day, I don't know, like 2-3 months ago, but I didn't really meet like too many, right? Because that's not deep down south. That's still urban. But this is just, oh my God. My God. This man really said, Don, these good white folks don't step on black toast folks, and we don't step on their foot, Don. And Ben Crump came here, and his messaging and his investigation got these good white folks looking at us a tad bit bad, Don. We want to go back to eating gumbo and barbecue with our good white men. We don't want the national attention. I said, what? How do you say something like this on a national platform and not feel dirty inside? Like national, like ew, like ick. This is what you do? Now, Don called it out and Don tried his hardest, bro, to try to talk sense into this dude, man. But he was just too far gone. I think at some point, Don Lemon said, bro, are you in a sunken place right now? Because what are you talking about? Benjamin Crump came to launch an independent investigation because Nolan Wells' family asked Benjamin Crump to come and launch an independent investigation. You are upset that Benjamin Crump is refusing to accept there was no foul play, and he's asking for answers, and he's doing a thorough investigation. If you are mad at that, then you have something else going on, and your issue is not Benjamin Crump nor the family. Your issue is the good white folks that you have lived around your entire life. They're starting to feel uncomfortable. They're starting to feel the pressure. They're starting to feel accountability, and you don't like it.
Cannot walk into this town claiming it's racism, all these same state that killed Emmett Till, these racist white people. When that eulogy, I was at the funeral. That eulogy had to be, and just so I'll set it up, you know, you can see this is his obituary. So that eulogy had to be the hardest eulogy for Al Sharpton. When you walked in this church and you saw 30% of the church is white.
Why would preaching to white folks be a hard day for Al Sharpton? You think Al Sharpton never preached in a church with white folks? Like, I'm so confused here, bro. Also, wouldn't white folks being at the funeral debunk your narrative that this is like a divided city because of this family? No, the family is friends with white folks. White folks appreciate the family. The family aren't prejudiced. The family isn't racist. The family just want answers for their son. It's simple as that. Hard stop. They want answers for their son. I can't believe to understand why anyone would think that a family seeking answers for their son, and somehow that is making white folks uncomfortable, so hence the family should stop seeking justice and investigating in their way because some white folks are uncomfortable with how they're going about their investigation. So what? Who cares? Who gives a damn, okay? This dude will even go on to say, so after Don Lemon, like, again, I'm not about to bore you guys with this entire thing, but after Don Lemon walks him down, after Don Lemon tells him, bruh, just because people are marrying other races doesn't mean that racism don't exist. After like Don like completely walked him down off of that topic, He then concedes that racism exists, but then he says that who cares if it exists if the racists are quiet and hiding, not even understanding that the racism that really affects you is the racism that's quiet. That senator who don't let you know how he really feels about black folks but get elected and now he's in control and now he can control legislation. That doctor who don't let you know that he's racist, now guess what? He controls whether you live and die.
But it doesn't mean that it is as bad as back in Emmett Till.
Right.
We
Racist
made progress.
People is going to always be with us. There's nothing you can do about that. That's why Jesus Christ suffered, bled, and died for that very same thing. Is because racist people going to walk amongst you. But who really cares about the quiet racist? He's a racist and he's quiet and he don't say nothing about it. He over there. If he not bothering you, he can be racist over there. As long as he don't come and shove it down my throat, I don't care what he is over there, right? He's not affecting me. If he ain't affecting me.
You don't know that.
But
you don't know what that quiet racist is doing. You don't know who he's influencing. You don't know what kids and grandkids he's influencing. You don't know that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
you don't know who he's supporting. Maybe he's sending money to the Klan. You don't know.
But when I'm speaking of quiet, I'm talking about the ones who just keeping it to himself. You know what I'm saying? If he's quiet with it, I agree with what you're saying right there. I agree with that.
Emmanuel.
If he's helping people be racist, that's a problem. And when I'm speaking,
but how do you know that if he's quiet about it? Quiet is kept. You know what quiet is kept is, right?
Hey, I'm just saying, man. Bro, if you got a health problem and it don't show, it don't show up on this blood result, then good deal.
Then eventually one day it's going to kill you. Even if it doesn't show up, even if you don't know about it, it's still going to kill you.
But here's my main thing, though.
Yes.
And I want to speak on what you just said.
Yes, sir.
I believe the world and Hollywood did this to us down here in the South. They have made everybody in the North, East, West think that we so prejudiced down here. When none of that is true, man. It is not. It's not saying that there's no prejudiced people here, but you cannot just keep saying that.
How did Hollywood convince people that what happened in the South and what's happening in the South that's real is, how does that Hollywood? Hollywood is just projecting what's happening.
Because when they make their movies, that's how they show it. They project
movies?
us. Every racial movie, everything
what movies
that come through here.
Did you watch Django?
Yeah, I watched that.
Okay, yes, did you think that wasn't real? A lot of this stuff is based on truth. I'm not
saying that wasn't real.
This dude mindset is so backwards. Like, it's so backwards, man. So the reality of Mississippi's history and their actual history is not the reason why people think Mississippi is racist, right? You know, what they have actually done in that state is not the reason why people think is racist. However, movies that are depicting and showing the history of Mississippi is why people think they're racist. It doesn't make sense whatsoever, man. But this dude's entire mindset was backwards. This entire interview. And you almost forgot this was an interview about Nolan Wells. The dude came on to speak on Nolan Wells, but yet he spent the next 40 minutes trying to debate Don Lemon on how white folks is wonderful in Mississippi, which I'm sure, right? Nobody is saying all white folks is racist. I'm sure there are some amazing white people in Mississippi. Spending an hour trying to convince Don Lemon how Benjamin Crump, the family, they're race hustling, they're race grifting, they're trying to make these good white folks feel uncomfortable and it's not okay. Why are you choosing to center this in a discussion about Nolan Wells? That's what I don't understand, man. This is just terrible.
Do you remember when we were going, how old are you?
I'm 46.
Do you remember Miss Jane Pittman? Do you remember that story? Did you watch Roots in elementary school?
Yes, I did.
All right, so that was Hollywood doing that?
No, listen, man, this is what I'm trying to say. Hollywood will take something that may be true, or Hollywood will take something that's not true and make you think it's true by keep putting that in your head. That's their job. You know?
How are they putting something in your head that is, if it's based on reality or a true story? But So do you think that
the image used to have been based on reality and a true story? But you cannot keep coming down here telling the world that, listen, man, people comment in my comments all day about how racist we are down here. You know, people, we don't move like that. We really, because here's what I think, Don, and you should know this better than anybody.
This dude is nowhere near reality right now, bro. Nowhere at all. At all, man. right? He even like ran propaganda for Bart, which we'll talk about in our next video, where he claims the black friends told him that Bart is innocent. But what black friends? There were no black friends on the boat. So how can they clear Bart if they weren't on the boat? This dude is just not rooted in reality right now. And I don't know what type of friend this is, but I truly hope. Because as we're watching and witnessing in real time, like when Nolan Well Friends came out and did the interview with Tatum, the family cut them off. Like, we good. Like, we straight. I can almost guarantee you Tatum is gonna interview this guy. I can almost guarantee you that. Guarantee it. But this is just that sad, man. It's rhetoric like this that has contributed to Nolan Well's mom being under attack, right? The nursing board being called and things of that sort, man. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this? If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, then click on this video right here, somewhere on my screen, somewhere here, or here, somewhere on my screen, to find out why exactly TDE just revealed that Kendrick Lamar hate the game. Find out the reason what they revealed, okay? I'm going to see you guys in this Kendrick Lamar in game video. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.